Hey, suck gang, it's me, JONO, and today we are going to be talking about the 3 things I wish I knew before I started working on Hermitcraft. But before I do that, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We might as well just crack on. So the first thing I wish I knew might come as a surprise to all of you, and that is that I wish I just knew more about Hermitcraft. Leading up to that time, I was always an avid Rendog fan, and I'd been watching Ren's videos since Ren started playing Minecraft. From his Season 1 Let's Play, Season 2, I think Ren did Kingdom Craft, Ren did Terraria. He also did a series with my other brother, the Real Gox. I think it was called Tech It or something, which was one of my favorite Rendog series, if you guys haven't checked it out. One day, Ren called in and let my parents and I know that he was invited to play on this super exclusive Minecraft server called Hermitcraft. Now keep in mind, we didn't really know anything about Minecraft at the time. We didn't really have any pretense as to how massive Hermitcraft was. So naturally, as Ren started playing on Hermitcraft, I just kept watching Ren's videos and didn't really do much research as to the other hermits until I got a call from Rendog one day in 2020, and Ren said to me, "Grian needs some music." Now I'm sure if any of you got that message, you would have jumped out of your chairs. Not me though. I had no idea who Grian was. So I replied to Ren's message on Discord being like, "Oh cool, that's really cool. Who is Grian?" And Ren was like, "What do you mean who is Grian? You don't know who Grian is?" "Oh, not really. I watch your stuff." Until I looked up who Grian was and I was like, "Oh, that's who Grian is." For my first assignment, I was to make some jingles for the Mumbo for Mayor campaign. I did not know at the time that I would become the voice of Grumbot. I claim the voice of Grumbot. I don't care what anyone says. I am the voice of Grumbot. Grian contacted me specifically to write some jingles that he was going to use to annoy people around the server, which became a very consistent trend for the music I made for Grian. I thought this was a perfect opportunity to pivot my Twitch channel towards creating music, because at the time I was predominantly singing covers, and now I had this awesome opportunity to make some music for Grian. And I put together 3 songs for Grian. He actually didn't like any of them, or so it seemed, until I got a message at the end that Grian would use every one of the 3 songs. My life would change over the coming weeks as these 3 songs were used and abused throughout the Hermitcraft server. And for the first time in my life, I created something musical that reached a way larger audience than I could ever anticipate. Which brings me on to the second thing I wish I knew before embarking on my Hermitcraft adventure. And that is that when things happen really fast, it's probably not a good thing. I had been playing music for over 20 years up to that point and had made a large number of songs in the hopes that maybe just one of them would blow up. And then suddenly I made these 3 10-second jingles that I thought were pretty silly, and then they blew up. I remember specifically waking up one day and looking at my YouTube stats and seeing that I had gained like 20,000 followers overnight and 250,000 views. And yes, I did jump out of my seat. But looking back in retrospect, I was in no shape, position, or form to manage with such a massive influx of people into my channel. I would like to spend some time on this if I may, because I think this might be helpful for some of you. We all find ourselves grappling in this world of instant gratification, instant upload, instant access to knowledge, and we are constantly sold this idea of things happening right now. When you move to a city like Los Angeles, you encounter people that are trying really hard to sell you the dream. These people are going to go out of their way to tell you that you almost need them for things to hurry up and speed up. Why take a year to do something if I can make you blow up in 3 months? At first, this sounds totally awesome until you consider that every great thing has been built on solid foundations. If you build a building on weak foundations, the chances of that building falling are way higher. My channel simply didn't have any foundations in place to keep the machine moving. I was unable to understand how to manage a YouTube channel, how to create content for my viewers coming in. I was very discouraged that the songs that did really well weren't necessarily the songs that I was proud of making. I'm sure like many of you, I would spend weeks, months, years working on just a couple of songs and putting all of myself into them to release them to empty ears and eyes, when all it actually took was singing Mumbo Jumbo for Mayor and having a horse neigh at the end. Which brings me to the third part of our talk today, where I want to say to you guys that I would encourage you to make decisions without being emotional. This is a lesson that I'm still learning and grappling with in my own life. Especially as a creative, I think we're very in touch with our emotions, and we have to be able to create art. We're storytellers, and to be able to tell stories, you really need to be able to recreate emotions. You have to be really in touch with your emotions. The problem is that this goes completely against the analytical number-based system that we use to place value on ourselves today. The power of the number is something that I've watched increasingly grow since releasing music on Spotify for the first time in around 2019. We all know that horrible feeling of our song going online and having that less than 1,000 number. I'm here to tell you that that does not place a value on you, your art, or what you are capable of doing. I would suggest approaching your life with a more rational mindset. This forces you to dig a lot deeper into why you are doing something, what you want to achieve, and the steps you need to put in place to get there. As with anything in life, it really comes down to you being in the right mindset, both emotionally, physically, and happy in your own life, because I feel like that projects on camera when you are trying to put yourself in the public eye. People are so smart and they can see right through your BS. This was a very valuable lesson for me because I've learned to live my life not by the number. I've always said that the sock gang is not the place where we have the numbers, but rather that it's the place where we have the heart. And I think you should approach whatever you love with your heart, but also with a rational mind. The foundations need to be strong. And this often means not taking the shortcuts in life and being prepared to put in the hard, gritty work. But Sock Gang, if you are able to do this, those foundations will be so strong that you will be able to build the biggest building that your mind can even comprehend. When inevitably the storms roll in, that building is going to stand strong. This is incredibly profound, as I don't think it only relates to your passions and your work, but I think it also relates to relationships, not only with your friends, your family, your partners, but also yourself. This all takes an incredible sacrifice and risk on your behalf, but I believe in you, and I'm so thrilled to share these lessons with you all that I've learned along the way, and can only hope that it will provide some guidance to you if you're looking for it. I guess I'll see you in the next one, Sock Gang. This has been JONO. I'll see you later.